Hi, I'm Rachel Vandertulen, and my nonfiction topic I chose to do is euthanasia. Euthanasia is defined as the act or practice of killing someone who is very sick or injured in order to prevent any more suffering. There are many different forms of euthanasia. Some of them include active euthanasia. This is killing a patient by active means, for example, injecting a patient with a lethal dose of a drug, sometimes called aggressive euthanasia. There's also passive euthanasia. This is intentionally letting a patient die by withholding artificial life support, such as a ventilator or feeding tube. Some ethicists distinguish between withholding life support and withdrawing life support. There's voluntary euthanasia. This is when you have the consent of the patient. There's also involuntary euthanasia. This is when you do not have the consent of the patient. For example, if the patient is unconscious or is brain dead. There's also self-administered euthanasia. This is when the patient administers the means of death themselves. There's other administered euthanasia. This is when a person other than the patient administers the means of death. And finally, there's assisted euthanasia, which is when the patient administers the means of death, but they're with a physician or someone else. So this is a euthanasia timeline, and as you can see by looking at the timeline, we see that through the years, euthanasia has developed into a very controversial issue. Today, only 3 states in the U.S. support euthanasia, and these are Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. Some pros of assisted suicide include it's a way for people to die on their own terms and not the terms of their disease. They can be surrounded by friends and family, their favorite music, a pet, or however they would like when they choose to die. Everyone can be prepared for the final outcome. The patient can end their life before the pain presents. And the death is more like sleep than a painful, scary situation. Some cons of assisted suicide include because of religious views, loved ones of the patients may feel that the death is sinful or even selfish. The scary thought of no afterlife if you have no beliefs. Sometimes what is deemed to be a lethal prescription is not so lethal, and patients wake up a few days later. And it's also very gray and fuzzy on the ethics scale. Is euthanasia pro-human right or con-human right? Humans have the right to natural rights, which exclude attacks on one's life, dignity, and property. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, everyone has the right to life, and all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. In 1966, International Covenant on Civil Rights and Political Rights stated, every human being has the inherent right to life. This right shall be protected by law. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his life. There is a presumption that everyone has the right to choose to die, but it is not meant in the sense of euthanasia. Euthanasia is still a highly discussed topic today and is still up for debate and probably will always be a controversial issue. That's okay. It's fine.
You didn't say thank you.
You don't have to say thank you.
You don't have to. I just wondered if you were going to.
What? Do I need to say thank you?
Say thank you for your time. But no, you don't
No.
have to.
And it's just a rough draft.
Good job.
I'm not going to listen to it because that's just going to make me freak out.
No, I want to listen to it.
No.
I want to just listen and see if you have to make sure it recorded.